Recording.
Hi guys, this is Jim and Jeff here, Turbinator. This is the HX50 we bought from Turbo Daddy on eBay. Rebuilt. It cost us a fortune. Uh, we put it on the truck and verified everything was good. The oil line, the supply, and the return. Yesterday we finally took the truck out for a test drive. And we made it about 75 feet from the shop, and we had a runaway situation. A full throttle 4,000 RPM runaway situation. We got it shut down and pulled off the charge pipe from the top turbo to the small turbo, and it was full of oil. Full. The compressor housing was full up to here with oil. So pulled the turbo off, brought it in the house here in my turbo spot, and took it all apart and found the problem with it. The problem inside of it is that the seal for the plate was put into the same groove as the snap ring, which is a groove that it's shaped like a cone that goes in, and it doesn't touch anything. The actual sealing surface for it is the second one here.
Can you bring your nope, leave the turbo where it is, but just your pointer is in behind the shaft for me.
Oh, is that better?
Perfect.
That's the second. That's where the seal is supposed to be, and that's the snap ring. And the backing plate, the thrust bearing, is supposed to seat into the seal when it goes in. You're supposed to set it in, and then you need to push it to get it to pop over the seal, because that's the sealing surface that's cut on an angle to allow it to seal. But the way it's set up here, there's no seal at all. It just drops right in. If you look, you can see where the big snap ring is supposed to seat. You can see the seal. So what was happening when the snap ring goes in, it just pushes the seal back and makes it even more useless. And the more boost we were making, the more air we were moving. It was acting like a vacuum, pulling the oil into the compressor housing, and it just caused a runaway, an instant runaway. We're not sure if our intercooler is full of oil or the pipes and everything were just full. So we contacted Cash at Turbo Daddy just to let him know that it's the second turbo we bought from him that had a problem, the second rebuild. We're not a big buyer per se. We're just private guys. But imagine if it's only two that we bought that have problems. Imagine all the problems that they have. It's kind of scary to think about. But anyways, when this is seals in the proper place, this is hard to lift out. It needs to be almost pried out. Well, that's pretty much it. If I pop the seal, I can actually show you how it's supposed to seal. The seal is so jammed in there from being with the snap ring on top of it, it's almost impossible to get it out. It's gonna end up scrapping the seal, but we got a spare. It could probably even be reused, but I got a spare. I always find it's a good policy with seals and pieces in the turbo to just take a little bit of grease and just grease the seal so it gives it almost like glue to hold it in. It helps, and it helps for seating everything after. So now the seal is going into the bottom groove. That's a real quality control issue. That's it's quality control 100%. It's always, if you notice, when I build a turbo and I put in the thrust bearing with the piston ring, I always mark at the top, and I put the space in the piston ring to the top all the time, so it also helps it not to leak. You see now it's stopped. It needs to be seated in over the ring. You can see that side just went in. That does not fall out now for anything. Before I could just turn it over and it would fall off. And it's just the snap ring back into the groove without the O-ring in the back of it, which is probably going to make it seat better, because also the snap ring too is angled, so the farther it goes in, the tighter it gets.
Just a second. Show that again.
You can see how it's angled.
Okay.
That's it. One other thing I'd like to show too is with the Schneck balancing machine that they have at Turbo Daddy, they're the same way. Using a side grinder on the compressor wheel to balance it, which is just, excuse the expression, it's piss poor. It's a used wheel. On top of that, they did that with it and just pretty much destroyed the edge of the wheel. If we had money, we wouldn't put this turbo back, but as it stands now, we really don't have a choice. We need the truck up and running, so it's going back in, but at our quickest convenience, we'll be replacing that wheel as soon as we got some money to order another wheel. And that's pretty much it. I'll finish buttoning it up here after, and so that's the video for the what do we end up paying this turbo, Jim? 700 something?
No, it was after all of the brokerage and everything, 643 and 177 plus the cents or whatever it is. It's over $800.
For 75 feet.
Yeah.
Before we had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep the wheels down, guys. And thanks.